The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Darren Mougey is making moves for the present and the future. We break down the latest from the New York Jets with our Jets insider, Nick Faria. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a football Friday. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish you could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel. We are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Hope everyone is having a great week. The Jets, they have been busy this week, and we certainly have a lot to talk about. Reminder, if you ever miss a show, we put the show in audio form on Apple and Spotify, so you can check out the podcast there. And make sure you join the Patreon. It's a great way to support the show. You get bonus perks, bonus shows, your name added to our intro. You find out about exclusive events before the general public. And the best perk, you get access to our private Discord where you get to connect with your favorite Asmaniacs year-round. With that, we say hello right now to a good friend of the show. He's decked out in his Mets apparel. It's our guy, Nick Faria from JetX and JetXFactor.com. Nick, happy Friday. Appreciate you hopping on.
Absolutely. Great to be back on, Jake.
So we got a lot to talk about. I also want to remind people that if you're here for Asmaniac Madness, make sure you stick around because we lead off the dangerous alliance region with the 1 versus 16 battle that everyone is excited about. Can there be a major upset? Can Leenie pull it off? The 16th seed against the number 1 seed, Beastbreaker, 666. That's what the people want, but will it happen? We'll find out. So stick around for that. That's all coming up. But, Nick, let's just start with your assessment on the moves this week. We'll go into specifics on the quarterback and some of the other things, big picture that it all means. But the Jets have been active this week. Assess where this team is at and the moves they have made.
They're significantly better than they were about a month ago. Like, let's be fair. When they came out of the NFL scouting combine, we knew exactly where their needs were. Edge rusher, defensive tackle, safety, linebacker, wide receiver, and quarterback. And they have solved pretty much almost all of those needs. At safety, you bring in a guy, Minkah Fitzpatrick, a 3-time first-team All-Pro, and people think he's aging. He's still only 29 years old. He can play anywhere on a defense, and you got him for a 7th-round pick on a contract that is significantly less than what his resume would show. Then you go out and you say, okay, well, we've added a couple of edge rushers, Kingsley and Arbe. I completely butchered his last name. I apologize. But Joseph Osai, these guys are depth pieces. Did you pay a lot of money for them? Not really. You paid them around market value for depth edge rushers. And you see that across the board with every single signing the Jets made. They did not break the bank for any of these free agents. No one is making top 5 money at the position when they signed with New York. They gave fair market deals for players that are clear upgrades over obvious needs going not just in 2026, but in the future as well. So I think Jets fans should be very encouraged over the last week. They're still not done. There's a couple moves still to make. They need an additional wide receiver. They do need another edge rusher. And some people think that because Minkah Fitzpatrick kind of teased that he'll play a little bit more in the nickel, that they'll need an additional safety. TBD on that. I certainly think he's going to be more in his natural position as a ball hawking safety, but we'll see. the Jets could agree with Minka's assessment. Fitzpatrick did say yesterday that he hasn't talked about his role just yet, which of course is going to happen at this point. But I feel very encouraged about what the Jets have done this offseason. They've understood and identified almost every need they've had to solve, and they've given fair contracts to players that are clear upgrades over last year's debacle.
Which move were you the most impressed by?
It's a great question. I will say I was impressed. Probably the two biggest ones, the Fitzpatrick trade, I thought was a stroke of genius. First off, you have a player that grew up around here. He mentioned the ties, visiting the Jets facility so many times, playing outside of the Jets facility so many times as a New Jersey native. That's special. You're going to be able to play in front of your friends and family, and they got him for a late round pick. You're paying an all-pro safety, someone who's been among the best safeties over the last decade. What is it, $11, $13 million per season? That is a stroke of genius from Darren Mougey. Great price, great value. You took advantage of a team that's trying to rebuild while also not really hurting your chances for next season. So that was a great move. And then I have to say, the Parham signing, the left guard from the Las Vegas Raiders. People aren't really high on the Raiders' offensive line last season, rightfully so. They were absolutely atrocious. But Parham was easily the best of the group. He was his Pro Football Focus grade was a little bit above average. I think it was around 63.6. Solid run blocker, solid pass blocker. You know what you're going to get out of him. And you essentially got him for the same price that John Simpson has as an AAV when he went to the Raiders just a couple of days ago. So I thought the Parham signing was very, very smart because he had a better year last season than John Simpson. So the market value for him, the market value for Minka, two moves that I really, really liked for the Jets. The offensive line is still going to be a strength, and now their safety position arguably is probably one of the strengths on the defense.
All right, let's go more in depth on really the most notable move, and that, of course, is the reunion with Geno Smith, who spoke with the media yesterday for the first time. Geno Smith believes he's a lot better as he starts his Jets' second chance, and obviously he's a lot better than the player we last saw in a Jet uniform. But he said something interesting yesterday. He says he believes he's a better quarterback right now than the quarterback that he was in Seattle. Well, the numbers last year, the eye test last year in Vegas, don't back that up. Give me your thoughts on those comments from Geno.
My comments really come based on the sit down Pete Carroll had with Rich Cimini at ESPN. I thought that was an unbelievable article that he wrote. Again, Cimini's the best in the business. But Pete Carroll essentially saying, we failed Geno. We didn't do enough to help Geno Smith get the best out of him. And there's reason to suspect that was true. First off, the Raiders' offensive line was atrocious last season. For some reason, they decided to draft a running back, even though they had very clear needs along the offensive line. They should have picked Armand Membu with the 6th overall pick, but instead they took Genti with the 6th pick. Membu falls to the Jets. The Jets are very, very happy about that. So they didn't really help the offensive line, and their receiving core was an absolute dumpster fire. Jacoby Myers was their best player, and while Myers is a very quality veteran, he's not a number 1 wide receiver. I would argue he's not a number 2 wide receiver. So they did nothing to help Geno Smith in that regard. So I think his comments showed a more mature Geno than we saw the last time he was in a Jets uniform. But it also reinforced the fact that the Raiders didn't really do anything to help Geno out. The Jets have an established offensive line, an established number 1 receiver. They are putting Geno in a situation that is far better than he walked into with the Raiders last season. It
just to me comes down to, can they protect him? Can they add another receiver? Is Frank Reich still able to be a modern NFL play caller? Because the last time we saw him, he was with Bryce Young, who wasn't very good, but he was a rookie. So how much of that is a rookie quarterback who maybe he didn't want? He preferred Stroud based on some reports, all that. And then, Geno Smith's going to be 36. Sometimes you just lose it. Now, at that position, you see quarterbacks play at a high level in their mid-30s, right? It's when you start to get around 40, then you get concerned. But Matthew Stafford's 37. He just won an MVP. So Geno Smith also hasn't played as much football games-wise, snaps-wise, as a 35, soon-to-be 36-year-old QB because he was a backup for a lot of his career. So you just wonder, how much does he have left? It could go well. He could give you the ironic Ryan Fitzpatrick 2015 season, best case scenario, or has he just lost it? He's thrown 32 interceptions the last 2 years, which leads the NFL.
Yeah, and listen, the turnovers have always been really kind of an issue for him. He's led the league once with the Raiders. Of course, the interceptions were a problem when he was the quarterback of the Jets. He is going to have to – he's already matured off the field. We kind of already talked about that as a person, as a leader. He's clearly matured off it. We need to see a little bit more maturity on the field where he's not getting himself into difficult situations. And I do think the unfortunate side of what the Raiders and even the Seahawks those last couple of years – the offensive lines were not that good. The Seahawks offensive line this year was really good, but they infused a lot of talent in free agency. They developed that group over the last couple of years. 2 years ago, this was not the same group. The Raiders, as I already said, was the worst offensive line in football. I look at the Geno interceptions, not just to say that it's only him and it's only going to be him, but there are a number of reasons why a quarterback throws a lot of interceptions. Part of it is because he's running for his life. He's always constantly under pressure. And when you're trying to make a play, that's where you get yourself into mistakes. So the way that I look at Geno Smith's interception totals, yes, he has to be smarter with the football. But I do think a better offensive line gives him the opportunity to do exactly that. I fully expect them to add another wide receiver. Let's say they get Mekhi Lemon with the 16th overall pick and you have Garrett Wilson. Maybe you add in an additional veteran receiver at the end. That receiving room is going to be better for him moving forward. So the way that I look at it, I think you're going to naturally see a better Geno Smith because the overall team around him will be better. And he's not a guy that's going to go out and elevate talent. Not many quarterbacks are like that anymore. It's just the factor of what the NFL is now. But if you can surround him with good talent, he can play good football. And the Jets certainly have that.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We'll get to those coming up. With Nick, we got some Breece Hall news I want to dive into on his future. But I also want to share this. So normally we do the raffles on Friday. Well, the great Matt Snell passed away earlier this week. So I wanted to do a bigger raffle prize on a Football Friday to honor the Ring of Honor Jet, the only Jet to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. So the raffle will be tomorrow morning for the weekly series with Joe Caparoso. So you have this show and the afternoon show to still enter for that. But at the end of the second show today, big time prize, I purchased a framed Super Bowl III gold ticket display. So if you want to pay homage to Matt Snell and have a piece of Jet history in your man cave, in your living room, in your office, wherever you store your sports memorabilia, this comes framed, and it comes with the ticket and the replica scorecard from the game, and the photo on the side there is Matt Snell scoring that touchdown in Super Bowl III. So for anyone who enters on this show and the afternoon show, we'll do a raffle for that. Plus, you'll be entered in our weekly raffle, which I'm moving up a day to tomorrow. We're moving back a day to tomorrow morning when I do a show with Joe Caparoso from Badlands, Joe Namath signed helmet, Joe Klecko signed helmet, Garrett Wilson signed helmet, and a Kevin Mawai signed jersey. So give people a chance to win a really cool prize in honor of the great Matt Snell. Let me shout out the Doc, who's the first to enter the raffle today. Doc, Jet fan, gifting a membership. He is in for one. Let's go. Doc, thank you. We'll get to Asmaniac Madness coming up. Brian Morales hit the join button and became a channel member. Good job, Brian. He is in the Asmaniac raffle for one as well. Nick, I'm going to play you some sound. This was Connor Hughes, SNY Jets reporter on SNY last night, talking about Breece Hall.
But it's coming, or it's going to try to come. I mean, there was a stretch there right before they actually tagged Breece Hall where the Jets were pretty confident this was going to get done. They were very confident in the way things were moving. They thought they were close. Came to be known that they were not, in fact, close, which makes some sense. I mean, you were talking about St. Elmo's a little bit before. Yeah. I was in high velocity in Indianapolis with the general manager, and we were talking about Breece Hall, and he said, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall. I was like, yeah, he goes, Breece Hall is a better player. So that $14.5 million, which should be worth up to $15 million that Kenneth Walker got, everything that I've heard from talking to sources, Breece Hall should expect to get more and will likely get more. Now, as far as those conversations with the Jets, they are not happening right now. But from talking to multiple sources, they plan to re-engage after free agency and after the NFL draft. Finding something or getting something done with Breece Hall will be a top priority for New York.
What do you make of those comments there from Connor saying Jets and Breece pretty close, didn't get done, but the plan is for it to get done?
Yeah, they have until July. Was it July 21st to get a deal done?
15th.
The 15th, somewhat mid to late July, to get a deal done. Coming off the franchise tag, I fully expect that this is going to be done eventually because the Jets understand and the Jets have made clear that they want him here for the long term. If they were kind of on the fence about it, then you would say, okay, well, maybe they do what the Giants did with Saquon Barkley. You tag him again, you keep the tag on until you absolutely have to make a deal. I don't get the sense that that's going to be the case. I fully expect a long-term deal to be agreed. And, as Connor said, Kenneth Walker, got as high as about $15 million per year. I would fully expect that to be north of it. Is Breece Hall a top 5 running back? That's a big question, I think, objectively, based on his struggles at times. He's been the lone offensive weapon on the Jets, so that's part of the reason why he's only had 1,000-yard season up until this point. But he's certainly deserving of a long-term extension, and this is what the market is. Sometimes you pay a player that may be RB7 or RB6, but because he's the next guy to get a deal, you have to pay him RB4 or RB5. So I fully expect a deal to get done. It will certainly happen well before the deadline happens, and I expect him to be a Jet for the long-term future, probably around the $15-16 million mark.
Is that the right move?
I think that's a different question.
Well, that's why I asked it. Give me an opinion.
I don't know if any running back that is not a top 3 player is worth that kind of money. Especially when you don't have the quarterback, because they're going to have to rely on Breece Hall again. They're going to have to rely on Braylon Allen coming back at 100%. I can't, based on what I've heard from executives, if you're paying a running back $16, $17, $18 million, your team better be a Super Bowl caliber roster that just needs one more piece. The Jets are not one piece away. Even now, they are not one piece away. I would venture on the side of, if I were the GM, it probably wouldn't be a decision I make. But certainly that's what the Jets feel. And I will say, Darren Mougey has had his pulse on what the Jets need and what the value is for each particular player. If there's a GM that Jets fans should trust right now, it's certainly him to get that deal done.
I just think you, in all likelihood, have a rookie quarterback coming in. If you got to overpay slightly to keep Breece, why not? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really hurt your cap because running back contracts just aren't that big in the grand scheme of things. They have $90 million of dead money coming off their books next year. They're going to have an enormous amount of space again. I just didn't keep them, man. You cannot have enough good players surrounding whoever the rookie quarterback is in 2027.
Don't debate. And the argument for you, of course, is the fact that if you have a quarterback on a rookie deal, by the time Breece Hall's contract expires, this extension expires, the quarterback's going to get his deal. So you can let Breece walk and you can transform the team into whatever the new quarterback is going to be. So that's certainly an argument in your case. Again, I just look, do I want to pay a running back $18, $19 million who are good players, but is not probably a transcendent player? If I'm paying a running back that kind of money, I want a transcendent player. And we haven't seen Breece Hall reach that point. We certainly could. He could have a monster year this year and certainly be worthy of a contract, $17, $18 million, but we haven't seen that yet. And that's where my trepidation comes from.
Nick Faria is our guest. If you have a question for him, write it in. Reminder, giveaway. Big one today. Paying homage to Matt Snell. This frame, Super Bowl III collector's item. Super Bowl III game ticket comes in the frame. That's the raffle prize. We had a membership explosion just now. Roster Dread gifting 5. Paul Thaz, one of the great callers on the show, gifting another 5. And Nick Salantri with a 1 spot. Just like that, 11 new channel members. Let's go. Hit the Jet Chat. Hell yeah. Keep it coming. You're all entered in our weekly raffle, of course, as well. Like the video. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Let's get set right now for what people are waiting for, Nick. Asmaniac Madness. Let me just do a little reset because we did officially wrap up our first region of the opening round. Here's a look at the full bracket. Shout out to Gator for getting back from his bender in Vegas and updating all the graphics for us. You can see top left, the inside-outside region. We have our round of 32 that is set. It will be Kyle Clifton and Rob the Jet Fan in the 1-8 in the round of 32. Peter Castro versus David T in the 5 versus 4. The 3 versus 6 features Ricky NY in the Lane Train, Lane the 3, Ricky the 6, and our guy Chef Kevin with a win yesterday. I'm rocking a Cloverleaf Tavern hat where Chef Kevin is the lead chef there, and Neil with a big-time win over Southern Jet yesterday. So that's the 2 seed versus the 7 seed. So that kind of brings us now to the Dangerous Alliance region, ladies and gentlemen. The number 1 seed in the region is the Beast Breaker, the 16th seed who had to win a play-in round just to get into the tournament, is Leenie in North Carolina, a 1 versus 16 for the second time in this tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, voting for Asmaniac Madness is officially underway. Nick, who you got, Beast or Leenie?
I think I got, you never pick a 16 over a 1, but sometimes you just have to roll the dice. I'll take Leenie at 16 here.
It is going to be fascinating. We know Beast is polarizing. Leenie is a OG listener. I think Beast's contributions over the last year speak for themselves, but we'll see which way the Asmaniacs want to vote. This afternoon, we have a great battle. The 8-9 Pork of the Morning against Thunder Lips. Look at that mustache. Both these guys with outstanding facial hair. Great battle during our afternoon stream today as we kick off the Dangerous Alliance region. Field of 64, the round of 64. We go in order in terms of the bracket. So the next region when we get done with the Dangerous Alliance region will be the Extraordinary region. And then after that, the Grown-Ass Man region. Of course, the 1 seeds, Gary and Gorman, in those regions. All right, couple super chats, and we certainly have more to discuss. Lou B starts it off and says, Nick, any chance we could still get Tanner McKee for QB2?
No, I think that dream is dead.
Dream. Thank God.
It's a dream for some of us here. Good God. But no, I think that's probably a dead idea. The Eagles are not going to give away a backup quarterback to another team for him just to be a backup quarterback. If they're going to get rid of him, it's going to allow him to be a starter for an organization. I don't see that happening. I know the Carson Wentz idea seems to be hovering on ice right now as well. They're going to be addressing the backup quarterback position, I would say, relatively soon. Could be as early as today. It's just a matter of who they feel is probably the best fit for the organization for this particular offense with Frank Reich running it.
Some super chats here. Bino writes, and the forces with Leenie, hashtag Queen Leenie 2026. Amanda Madison says, vote Leenie. She's the past, present, and future. Bino writes in, Leenie, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. A lot of
pro Leenie super chats here.
Unbelievable. Georgie says, vote Leenie. Jason is a chump. And then we have an actual football point from Doc Jetfan, who gets us back on track here. I believe a core goal of free agent signings is to fill enough holes so that you could attack the draft selecting best player available. Mission accomplished.
Well, it's not accomplished yet because they have a clear need at wide receiver. You want to make sure the backup quarterback position, like we just talked about, is secure. And they may want to bring in an additional safety. And very clearly, they need another edge rusher. They cannot go into the season with Will McDonald, Kingsley, and Osai just as your edge rusher. So I certainly expect them to be addressing all of those positions accordingly. I do think right now all this does is kind of enhance the idea that it's either David Bailey or Arvell Reese with the 2nd overall pick, and then the best available receiver at 16. I certainly see a path to that happening.
How about the wild idea of the Jets just saying, you know what? We're coming away with 2 superstars in this draft and setting ourselves up next year to get the quarterback. What if they go reset 2 and they make a big swing to move up to get either Styles or Downs?
I think it was Todd McShay yesterday. There were some rumblings that Sonny Styles would be the pick.
He implied that 2. Styles is in play at 2 for the Jets.
That's perfectly fine. I'm sure they're not going to leave any stone unturned. But If you're talking about an off-ball linebacker and an edge rusher with the second overall pick, you're taking the edge rusher every single time. I don't care how athletic, how great Sonny Styles was, and he's an unbelievable prospect. No one's taking that away from him. But from a pure positional value, I'm taking the edge rusher over the linebacker. I think it's going to be Reese. I still think it's going to be Reese. I haven't heard anything otherwise to tell me that it won't at this point. So certainly the conversations are going to be had. But I think Reese is certainly that pick at 2. And, of course, as you said, a potential trade-up. They could say we're going to bolster our defense and then the rest of our picks are going to be offensive players. That could also be in play. They could potentially trade up for Caleb Downs and say Minka's going to play at nickel and Downs is going to be our ball-hawking free safety, and now we're going to have a safety room that's probably the best in the NFL. That could certainly be the case. I don't think it will, but they have all these options for them. They have 2 second-round picks, which will give them enough ammo to trade up in the first round with the 16th overall pick. They have all these resources to choose from. It really will just come down to what Darren Mougey and Aaron Glenn want to do in April.
The Mooj super chat from Mike D's Nuts in the raffle for 4. Vote Leenie. Mike, your voice is heard. Shane says, beast, 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 and I want the plaque. Some beast support. Right now, Leenie off to a 60-40 lead in voting. I'm a little surprised. I thought this would be closer. I think Beast offers a ton to the show. We know Leanie's an OG, so this is going to be a fascinating one. If Leenie could be the first 16 to ever beat a 1. Beast, 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 and I want that plaque. Shane, get the membership, and we'll put you in the Asmaniac raffle. David says, I hope Leenie gets tremendous support in this morning's vote. Well, she's off to a very strong start there. We're going to get to your calls coming up. We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Nick, here are the Jets Super Bowl odds. They're the lowest in the NFL, plus 25,000. Your thoughts?
I think that's a very, very fair assessment. I don't think they will be winning or even getting to the Super Bowl next year, but can they show improvement? Can they get to 7 wins? Can they get to 8 wins and save Aaron Glenn's job? I think that's on the table, certainly on the table this season if this coaching staff is upgraded like we all expect.
Rick Kent checking in. He has gifted 5 channel memberships. So Rick is the latest Asmaniac to enter in honor of the late great Matt Snell, our framed Super Bowl 3 golden display ticket. Rick, thank you. Hit the jet chant for our guy, Rick Kent. Let's go. I'm able to see who got these 5 memberships here because I had it up. So AJ, you're a member. Andrix, you're a member. Robert Kahn, Lee Turkin, and Jimmy Casket all getting a gifted membership there from the Rick Kent. Hit the like button if you guys are tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. The Jet fan is the best fan in all of sports. I know we could do it. We're at 44,638, trying to get the 50K. So appreciate all you guys for what you do tuning in every day. Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, says, Nick, love your work. Is there any way we could teach Sonny Styles to play edge with his athleticism? Do you think it's feasible?
No, I don't. I think he is he is probably the closest linebacker prospect I have seen to Kuechly, the All-Pro and future Hall of Famer for the Carolina Panthers. Like I think Kuechly is one of the better linebackers we have ever seen. I think Sonny Styles is like that, just as athletic, really, really smart player, sideline to sideline, can play in coverage. He was a former safety after all. I wouldn't put him anywhere close to the edge position. I want him all over the field, not just in one particular spot.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Frank P. in the raffle for 10. Let's go.
Thinking is overrated.
But gifting memberships is never overrated. Again, hit the jet chant.
It's J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
Here are the 10 listeners who just became channel members, courtesy of our guy, Frank P. Donna, Tampa John, Skeeter 2M, Clap City, that's a government name, Jimmy Chino, Vote Beast, that was quick, Drew Reviews Music, Leenie the Queenie, Drub Cabra, Saran Rat 403, all receiving a channel membership from the Frank P.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Don't let go, baby. Don't let go. Common Country in the house in the raffle for 2. Common Country says, Joe Caporoso released his current Jets depth chart on X last night. Seems clear that Mougey will target receiver, edge / outside linebacker, and interior O-line early in the draft. I think their plan was spend to fix the core areas of the defense. You're adding a stud edge premium player in all likelihood at 2, receiver at 16, interior lineman at 16. It's a good receiver class. You could take someone at 33, 44. A lot of different ways the Jets can approach it.
And there are going to be a lot of different ways where Jets fans should be happy about the future of this team. This is not just about the 2026 season, after all. If you're going to be able to get your quarterback at 2027, you're talking about a team that needs to address the receiver position, a team that must have a quality defense in line, and an offensive line that's going to be well established. I'm very bullish on the Parham signing. I think that's one of the better shrewd moves that Mougey made over the last couple of days. I really like what they did at safety. Dane Belton being your third safety, I think, is a fantastic move for $4 million. And Nahshon Wright, the cornerback, the guy came in with 5 interceptions, a couple of forced fumbles, a couple of fumble recoveries, and he only cost $5.5 million. I mean, Mougey's been on a bender here. He's been fantastic, pretty much understanding the needs of the organization and coming away with quality free agents that aren't breaking the bank at all. So very encouraging start. They understand where their needs are for the draft. And I will also add that the Jets could have gone Tyler Warren last season with the 7th overall pick. They understood that Armand Membu was probably not only the better player, but the better fit for what they needed. Quite frankly, he understands, this Jets organization understands what good first-round talent is. We saw that last year. Still really like Mason Taylor. The later rounds are kind of a crapshoot right now. You want to see them be a little bit better, a little bit more dependable. But early on, I think Jets fans should trust the scouting department for the Jets in understanding and identifying top talent that they cannot miss in this draft.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line in the Mooj. Many Jet fans trust Shane with some support for the Beast using his free super chat you get every month when you're a channel member. Thank you very much, Shane. Mike D's Nuts says Beast will have the ultimate crash out. We're going to hear from Beast and we're going to hear from Leenie coming up shortly. So make sure you stick around for those of you waiting to decide if you're going to cast your vote. Brian says, Nick, we're sneaking into the wild card. Book it. Brian called my show yesterday and said that, and I asked what drugs he was on. What are your thoughts?
Look, I think the additions certainly raise the floor. I don't think they're going to win 3 games next season. I think they will be better, and the floor is probably around 5-6 wins. I don't think that'll be enough to save Aaron Glenn's job, but the ceiling, I think, is still around 7-8 wins. And if you can get good Geno Smith, the Geno Smith that played really well for Seattle, he never had a lower than 500 record as a starting quarterback there. So the way that I perceive it, your ceiling is a little bit higher. Your floor is a little bit higher. You're a better football team. But do I expect this team to make the playoffs? Of course not. Not in year 2. There's still a lot of questions. This is still a very young roster, even with some of the older additions that they made. I don't see this as a playoff team. I certainly see this as a far more competitive and a season that Jets fans will actually be engaged in and not disengaged by week 5.
So based on what you're saying, though, if Glenn doesn't win enough and he's gone, is Mougey here?
Yes, I think, again, we'll see what happens in the draft. But by all accounts, I don't think these two are tied together anymore. I think the Johnson family has identified that Mougey is a very strong general manager, and the jury is still out on Aaron Glenn. If he has a good year and this team improves, they both will continue to work together. If not, it's very clear which person the team should be keeping right now.
Jets Carpetbagger says, bro, I need that prize. Well, you just gave yourself 2 shots at it, Jets Carpetbagger. Thank you for supporting the show, and you're in the raffle for 2. Doc says, Nick, who do you see rapidly ascending up the current draft boards in the next 6 weeks? Thieneman, Simpson, who else?
I would say, listen, I like these 2 picks as guys that are going to be ascending. I think Ty Simpson's a lock for the first round. I think he will probably go top 15. It depends on what quarterback-needy team in the 20s wants to trade up for him as well. So that's going to be a discussion, an interesting wrinkle to the NFL draft this season going forward. Outside of that, Thieneman is certainly an option. I also will say the guard from Penn State. I'm butchering some of these last names, and I apologize. But the Penn State guard, I think, is someone that is going to go a lot higher than people expect. Some mocks have him going to the Jets. I think he's a top 15 player. Certainly someone that could be gone well before New York makes their pick, their second first-round pick of the day.
Jorge says Sadiq, Wilson, Mitchell, Taylor Hall, Beast is a pig.
I don't think they're going to take a tight end. I'll just sit there and say that. I don't think you're going to take a tight end at 16. I think that would be the wrong kind of asset management. If you're picking at 16, you want a weapon, you take a wide receiver. You go out. This is a really deep receiver class. You get the best available guy, whether it's Tyson, whether it's Lemon, whether it's any one of these guys. The Jets will have a better wide receiver too with any of those selections.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, vote for Asmaniac Madness. We got quite the battle to kick off the Dangerous Alliance region, folks. The number 1 seed is in action. The Beast taking on the 16th seed, Leenie, and we are on our way to potentially the upset of all upsets. Leenie up 61-39 since we opened up poll voting 15 minutes ago, but we know the silent majority could be out there for the Beast. We will see how things play out. My God, are crazy things happening in this tournament. Right now, we head to the call-in line. Joining us on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is none other than the man himself. Hit it.
And right. There we go. Woo! Ka-ching! There we go. Ooh, sexy. Happy New Year!
Hey, Beast, you're on the air.
I don't want to talk right now.
You might want to tell people to vote for you.
I understand that, but right now I'm seeing a lot of the bullshit that I'm already starting to spot out.
What does that mean?
I'm not playing games today. I've had enough. I just about had enough.
Hey, can you raise the camera on your phone? Right now, we're just looking at a sour cream container.
I understand that. What am I doing? And what am I doing?
Making some pizza?
Fresh pizza. That's right.
Hey, why should people
we do it the way Crispy does it. I've been through enough shit the last 15 months. The humiliation, the shit, the aggravation, the humiliation, fighting with Beasley and kicking Sickering's ass, fighting all the BS Harry Potter crap. That's too much. And then having to have my blood pressure driven through the roof and then being in a goddamn hospital. That's a lot. And then almost having, and then Beasley coming out here again this past last month, almost causing me to have another war with a gun. Lucky I didn't pull a trigger. I'm lucky I didn't want to blast his ass. Little troll. He's lucky I don't put him in a psychiatric ward.
All right, well, you keep us posted.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that.
We have now heard from the Beast. Fantastic.
I wonder if that will help or hurt him over the next couple of minutes.
Some super chats that came in. Rat Diddy, how about this? Back from Vegas. We know Rat Diddy made some money here because he just bought himself 8 raffle tickets with that $40 super chat. For those crapping on Beast, we know he's special, but he's our special guy. Leenie, we all love you, but Beast is what makes the Asmaniacs what they are today.
Hey!
More super chats. This one is from Ryan Gresham. He just got himself 4 raffle tickets. Jake, it's been a while since I was able to see you live since I got my promotion, but I like the offseason move so far. JETS, 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 Jets. Hell yeah. And I'll tell you what, Ryan. 1, thank you for watching. And 2, congrats on the promotion. That's awesome. Aria writes in, Beast, if you shaved your head, you would have easily have won. I do think he'd win if he did that. That'd be a great way to get some votes. Mark checks in. Good morning. I believe Myers, not the Pope. So this is in regards to the Arch Manning conversation. Francesca said, oh, there's no way Arch will ever play for the Jets. The Mannings won't let it happen. It's such BS. 1, they have no control. 2, it's not true. I believe Gary Myers, who's literally presenting Eli Manning to get into the Hall. He's got relationships with the family. If Arch Manning is the quarterback the Jets want to draft and they're in position to draft him, he's not going to pull an Eli. He'd be a Jet.
Yeah, and listen, I will say this. You know, there are some Jet fans that say if the team wins enough games, they take themselves out of the conversation, and that's wrong. They shouldn't do that. They should look to tank. I completely disagree with this notion. First off, you want to see improvement, because if you can get this coaching staff, if you can see this coaching staff improve, that does a lot for the psyche of a Jets fan. You finally believe in something positive for once in 15 years. You have something to look forward to for an NFL future. The other side of the coin is this. Are we sure the Indianapolis Colts are going to be good next season? Are we sure that the Dallas Cowboys are going to be good next season? You know, Dak Prescott could get hurt. He's had season-ending injuries before, and the Cowboys have been awful whenever he goes down. The Indianapolis Colts are hitching their wagons on Alec Pierce and Daniel Jones. They've already let Kwity Paye walk in free agency. The defense is not going to be as good as it was last season, and as good as Shane Steichen is as a coach, I have serious questions about his future in Indianapolis, because it sounds like the new Colts owner is kind of looking to see a step in the right direction for Indianapolis. So I think the Colts could be a sneaky bad team this year. I think the Cowboys are a coin flip away from being atrocious, and the Jets own both of their first-round picks. There could be a situation where the Jets win 7 games and they improve the roster and they look better and the quality of play is better, and the Jets say, okay, we're going to trust this coaching staff for a 3rd season. We've seen enough to know they've got the right track going on. Let's see what happens if they draft their quarterback. And the Colts finish 3-14 or 2-15 and get the number 1 pick, and the Jets have that selection anyway. There are so many different avenues this team could go down. They don't need to tank to get their quarterback next season.
And look, they could move up with their picks. There also could be a bunch of quarterbacks where they don't have to do anything. Like, people need to relax being this concerned about, we need number 1. Not always, man. You don't only need the number 1 pick to get a quarterback. This year you did. It happened to be a year where there's only one consensus top quarterback available, and the Jets are a pick behind the Raiders. It is what it is. That might not be the case. I don't expect it to be the case next year at the end of the day.
Dante Moore, Lenore Sellers. You got a couple of guys from the mid-major schools, the non-Power 5 schools that are going to be available. You could very well be in a situation kind of like 2024 where the number 1 overall pick is a clear-cut choice, but number 2, 3, and later on end up being better all-around quarterbacks for their teams. I mean, you look at the history of the number 1 overall pick dating back to Matthew Stafford. It's not pretty. It really isn't. You have Jared Goff, that's a good one. Obviously, Stafford's a good one, but Kyler Murray, failure. You look at Jameis Winston, failure. You look at some of these other guys. Bryce Young, clearly a worse quarterback right now than C.J. Stroud. If the Panthers were to do it over today, they would obviously take Stroud. So there's no guarantee that the number 1 overall pick is just suddenly this all-changing quarterback for your future. Sometimes it's the 2nd or 3rd option that puts you on the right track.
Dorian gifting not 1 but 2 channel memberships to enter the raffle. We also have this one from Jets Carpetbagger. Can you still buy Breece breakfast cereal? Can't find it. That stuff is dope. No idea, but I did have that. It's It's on my like memorabilia shelf. You guys, it's off camera, but I did have that too, Jets carpetbagger. I never tried the cereal though, so I'll take your word for it that it's actually a really good taste. Common Country says Beast has the physique of a modern American. Nick, your thoughts?
I would totally agree. I would totally agree with that statement. I think America needs to get their shit together more frankly.
Cash Money Mike gifting a 5-spot of channel memberships. Mike, thank you. Big Country says, Beast, get on the scale. You know, I think I read that one already. Or did I? I don't know. Beast, get on the scale. You'll get a lot of votes. Let's check in with the Beast on this suggestion. Beast, your thoughts?
Putting seeds on right now. I'm very busy right now.
Are you?
What does it look like I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing? Playing with myself? Huh?
You're playing with pizza. Oh yeah. Hey Beast, what's your message to all your supporters who have voted for you?
To all the crybabies who hate my guts, you can suck an egg for all.
In diarrhea, cha cha cha.
I asked about the supporters, not the crybabies. Anyway, the Rooster says this group needs to remember the commitment and daily grind Beast makes. If we don't vote for the Beast today, then this tournament is not what I thought it was.
I would beg to differ. I think that it brings the power to the people. It brings the power to the fans. Some people don't like some of the antics, and this is their chance to call them on it. I think this is as American as a tournament as you will ever get.
I'll tell you what. I think the Rooster makes a salient point.
You can kiss my big ass. Woo!
2 raffle tickets for the Rooster. How about our guy Mike Perez? Mike won yesterday a signed Wayne Corbett helmet. He's paying it forward. A $50 super chat. Let's go.
Bim boom me, bim boom boom ba, bim boom ba, bim boom ba, bim boom me, bim boom ba.
Beast and Leenie are just a few callers who make the show what it is. Happy Friday to the greatest fans in sports. Let's go, Mike. 10 more raffle tickets for our guy, Mike Perez.
Woo!
Thank you very much to Mike. How about a 5-spot? Ton of memberships and super chats today. Love this community. 5 from our guy, Ryan Gresham, who gifted 5 memberships. That means to the community. Yeah, let's go.
Woo, woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo.
Super chat from Welcome to Something. Michael Clemens is a Colt top 10 pick incoming. Love seeing that, man. Amazing.
And again, we mentioned already, if Dak Prescott goes down and the Cowboys
Jordan Love goes down, how do we know nothing crazy happens there?
We're kind of in the situation right now where the Jets could absolutely have multiple picks in the top 10 that aren't even their own. I mean, if they get to 7-8 wins, you're picking probably around the late teens. And we're looking at a situation where their 2 best picks are the ones that they got for Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams. That is certainly on the table this season.
Super chat from Black Gypsy. Attic pizza is gross. Wash your hands, Beast. Leenie wins. Strong take there from Mr. Gypsy. All right, we've heard from Beast. Now we hear from the Cinderella in action right now. Leenie in North Carolina joins us. Hello, Leenie.
Hello. Hi, Nick. Oh, Nick, I love all your stuff. I really do. I love listening to you. I love when you're on the show with Jake. Okay. What can I say? I don't interact a lot with Beast, and I was really looking forward to this, and he kind of bursted my bubble. So I'm sorry he's having a bad day. I understand. I've been sick for 2 weeks with diverticulitis. It is not fun. I had an infection and it was perforated and things oozing out of my body into my body. So I understand, but I was really looking forward to this. And I had some things I wanted to come after him with. And now I'm kind of like, do I even do that? I don't want to hurt his feelings anymore. But I am going to say one thing. The noises that my body was making, I've never heard that in my 62 years. So if there was a contest of farts against me, Beast, and Charles Gorman, I would have given them a run for their money.
Wow. I was not expecting this kind of call from you, Leenie.
No,
You really are keeping us on our toes today.
Oh my, it's just unbelievable. But I'm sorry, Beast. Like I said, I had a few things I wanted to call you Mr. Softy, and well, I'm going to say it because it's all in fun. And I was going to say that, him being the 3-time survivor of the ear infection, which I made fun of him before. Diverticulitis ain't no joke, Beast. You would have been in a fetal position in the corner in your attic, never to be found again. So just to let you know.
What a strong
Anyway, Nick, I agree with you with the homegrown thing, this Fitzpatrick. I love it when, we get people who were born in Jersey or New York or, Jet fans. I'm just hoping his season's going to be a little better than what we saw from Ruckert. But we'll see what happens. And then I'm hoping he has a better season this year. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to have some hope with Geno. I don't know. But this is going to be 57 years I'm cheering for this team, the 57th season. So I'm not going anywhere. So whatever. But I can't think of the player that we got from, I think it was the Bears, that defensive player.
Yeah,
and
the cornerback, right. Nashawn Wright.
Right. Oh, right. That's what it was. I kept thinking Sweat, and I'm like, I know it's not Sweat. At least with him, if he gets one interception, okay, that was his signing and stuff. It's not a bust. It won't be a bust. So
and he's got a good price too. $5.5 billion for a guy with 5 interceptions last season. That's insane.
Yeah. So they're sucking me back in. I don't want them to, but I'm not making any predictions. I don't see anything happening. I just want to see Glenn make better decisions during the game. I want to see our defense look better, and then just have a nice flow of the offense, which we did kind of sprinkled around last season, but like get in the end zone. I don't know. And I'm just hoping this helps Breece Hall. I know a lot of people are down on him. I still love him. I'm hoping that he has a better season this year, and we'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm sorry, Beast, you're having a shit week and all that stuff. But I was really looking forward to this today, and I just want to let you know that it's all in fun, and it doesn't matter who wins today. And I was really looking forward. I wanted him to come after me, and he disappointed me. But anyway.
Well, hold on. We'll give him a chance to respond, Leenie. Beast, you're on with Leenie.
Come on, Beast. Show your face. Come on, Mr.
I
Softy.
don't talking to a bunch of bastards who have no respect for me. You know what? To all the chat, you all can blow my nutsack because I really don't give a fuck anymore.
A lot of people in the chat were saying, "Oh, Leanie's nice," but Beast makes the Asmaniacs who they are. So don't shit on them. Come on.
They know who they are. Oh no! They know who they are. The bastards know who they are. Bunch of addicts, pot sucking losers who got no balls. I'm done. I'm done dealing with a bunch of jackass, ballhard, cockwad, idiot fools who smoke pot, do nothing, be nothing, and become a bunch of jerk offs.
Oh my goodness. He told me, okay. He told me in the chat, I just saw it now. He told me to eat poop and go away. Oh, if I would have saw that, Beast, I would have said, I don't want to talk to him. How dare you?
Well, good. Get the hell out of here.
I love it, Beast. Come on. Sit down with me and have a battle. Let's go. I thought you were going to be better than this, Beast. Come on, sit down. There you go.
You don't think I've had just enough? You don't think I've had enough with the crybabies around here? Let's really play the tail of the tape. For 15 months, I've been shit on, kicked on, crapped on by all these jackasses on here, and most of them. The haters know who the hell they are. They know who they really are because all they are is a bunch of fake Addy show idiots who sit around, smoke pot, act like losers. They got no balls. And look at this joke of a schmuck. Jay Quest is another clown. He's another greasehead who has no
Let me ask you
brain.
something, 'cause I never interact with you because sometimes you do go over the top. But anyway, I just want seriously, how old are you?
I'm 42. Been through it.
I
No.
just turned 62 last week and I was in the hospital for my birthday. Okay. You know, after a while, it doesn't matter what people think of you. Okay. It doesn't matter. What you worry about is the people who are your friends, who are surrounding you, who are in your life, what they think about you and what you think about yourself. So you can't please everybody. I know me. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And you know what? I don't care. I am who I am. This is me. And either you like me or you don't. Yes, I try to be a better person every day, but I am who I am. And you know what? And I know God loves me too. So that's it. And you have grandchildren. They love you. My grandkids love me too. That's all that matters.
My daughter stabbed me in the back on my birthday, and I was humiliated worse than anything else. I felt like she just stabbed me in the back because nobody cares.
Well, I'm sorry.
Where I live is a shit. Where I live, it's a shithole full of losers, dweebs, and dorks and dick bags who do nothing but hide in their basement and do nothing but squat.
But you know what? You have to thank God you have a roof over your head. There's many people that
that's one good. That's one goddamn good thing. But like I said before, I've had just enough. But you know what? I know we're another show I could be very, very happy at, and that's tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'm gonna raise more hell and be on that you've never seen before. See, I'm like the Dark Knight. I will be as more extreme than anybody else. And you know what? To all the Addy show blowhards, I'll never go on that crappy show. They can take their papers and then wipe their ass with it.
Oh, Beast. Come on. Everybody was looking forward to this, too. This was like one of the big battles that people were looking forward to.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that.
I have to work, and you're ruining it. Don't do that.
Well. People don't get it that I've had enough.
Use your fist and bashing me down. Come on. This should have been your highlight with the spotlight on you and you going after little old Leenie. Come on. And you ruined it. That's all I have to say.
I don't ruin nothing. I don't ruin nothing. I just go for the strike.
I was really waiting. I couldn't wait for this. I had a little step back and I was in 9 hours in the emergency room on Wednesday. And not really feeling that great, but I came on here because I was ready for you. And I'm sad for you. I really am. I'm sorry that you're in a bad mood. And, but that's all I have to say. I love all the Asmaniacs. Thank you so much. And for all your support. And if I win and move on, great. If I don't, that's okay too.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
What an exchange between the two competitors in the tournament. Nick, your thoughts on that exchange?
I think we're about to see Leenie go on an all-time run here, not just against Beast, but moving forward. Because this was her reaching out, trying to be the better person, trying to be like, listen, Beast, I know everything's wrong right now, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. She was trying to get him up for this bout. Full respect to what Leenie was able to try to do there. It may not have worked, but I hope she goes on a run as well. I'm not changing my pick. I still think it's going to be Kyle Clifton winning it all, but Leanie's going to be a dark horse here. That's a fantastic call.
Ladies and gentlemen, we might have our first true Cinderella of this year's tournament. Leenie in North Carolina. Could she go on a run, ladies and gentlemen? Right now, she's up 58-42. If Beast is going to come back, he's going to need his comeback to start right now. Nick, I appreciate you hopping on this morning. I know you'll be tuned in to see the end result of this battle.
Of course. Thanks, buddy.
Nick Faria with us there. Hit the like button if you guys are just tuning in. Comments, questions, your super chats. They will cut the line. A lot happening with the tournament. Let me get the super chats and calls. A lot of people have weighed in. We've had a ton of votes so far. Dark Knight Steve says, let's go Leenie. Leenie talking about farts on a Friday. Epic. Let's go, Mets.
Good job.
Dark Knight Steve, you're the man, my friend. Rick Kent checks in with a super chat. I've had the great pleasure of meeting Leenie in person. She is stellar. A vote for her is a no-brainer. Super chat from Dark Knight Steve. Beast just providing constant material for Gator. Amen to that. Dominic says we got to give Beast some love. Absolutely. Beast has a lot of fans out there. He just doesn't seem to acknowledge them enough. Dark Knight Steve says, epic Beast. Now Krebs says, this is why people don't like you, Beast. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. For those tuning in late, Football Friday giveaway of champions today. Literally, Super Bowl III, framed collector's ticket. It comes framed. Again, framed in the man cave. I'll mail it to you this weekend. If you win, we're going to give people a chance to enter this show and the afternoon show. I wanted to pay homage to Matt Snell, so I moved the raffle to tomorrow morning because I am doing a Saturday show with Joe Caparosa. So the weekly raffle for the Namath, Klecko, Garrett Wilson signed helmets, and the Mawai signed jersey is moved to tomorrow, I should say. Super chat from Al, who says, the level of disrespect shown to the fan base with the Geno signing is stratospheric. If they think Manning's coming here, that won't happen. Here's what I would say to you, Al. What was the alternative to Geno? Like, is Geno that much worse than, like, potentially Derek Carr? They weren't going to get Kyler. He was always going to go to Minnesota. Cousins doesn't want to be here, apparently. I don't know if I buy that, but he doesn't. Geno's also younger than Kirk. Like, again, if they're bad, they could get a quarterback next year. How do we know Manning's going to be the best quarterback, by the way? It's just fun to say March for Arch because we've been hearing about it for a while. March for Arch is just, hey, you're in position to get one of the quarterbacks. It doesn't have to be Arch Manning. That's the difference. I'm not offended the Jets brought back Geno. I'm really not. I don't think it's an insult to the fan base at all. And I think the way Geno's handled himself so far and some of the things he has said, you want to root for him. Be a great story if you can figure it out. T-Town Jet has gifted a membership. He is in the Asmaniac Raffle. Super chat from Peg and Artie. 4%ers are alive and kicking ass. Go Leenie. Oh, yeah.
Jets, 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 Jets.
The 4%ers are out and about. Peg and Artie in the raffle for 2. I have a boatload of calls that I need to get into. Now, I got to play you guys something because on Monday we're going to do something I think that could be epic. If you are on Jet Twitter, you know the U Stadium Jet guys all want David Bailey, whereas the Jet X guys, Robbie Sabo and Joe Blewett, they want Arvell Reese. Both of these factions of the fan base have made their cases several times. On Monday, Frankie V and Robbie Sabo will be on together to debate Reese versus Bailey, and I think it's going to be epic. So before we get to your calls, check this out from Sabo breaking down Reese versus Bailey, and the full debate is going to be Monday morning, and I can't wait.
It's what's called Monday Film Room, looking around at teammates going, what the hell is this guy doing? Here's Bailey. Let's run it through. This is a classic. He's not going to take on a little physicality for us, for me, for his teammates. And this is a classic contrast between a guy who avoids contact, Bailey, and a guy who doesn't, Reese, and who's willing to do the little things for his defense, to not destroy the integrity of that defense. Counter, fake pitch, counter, 2nd and 9, championship game. Bailey avoids the kick out. Are we serious? It's a 4-man front. Here's Bailey up top. He's edge. He's the force player. Now, D-tackle, inside step. I don't know if he's following or if it's planned. If it is inside and someone's replacing Bailey on the edge, that's even worse. If someone's replacing him on the edge, even though no one comes, you should take this kick out with your outside shoulder and try to muck it up right here. Right here, muck it up, make the back go around. He tries to avoid. When you're coming down as the force player, at this point, you're outgunned. D-tackle, slant it in. Take this on. If you're the force player, take it on with your inside shoulder, leave your outside free, but at all costs, attack and muck it up. Muck it up right here. Do damage. Car accident. This way, the counter, the ball carrier, has to cut it up quicker or take more time to bounce it out. If someone's replacing you off the edge, it's even worse what he does because you got to take it on with your outside shoulder, just cut down the space, do the right thing for your teammates. But when he comes down, okay, screech, 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 screech. Now you know the kick out's coming. You got a puller also coming, classic counter. Get in there. Be violent. Helmet on under the chin, crown under the chin. He stops. He stops. That's how you play crap defense, folks. He stops. And it just gives way for the puller coming through to clean up on the second level. Major, major issue here. And it's not a one-time thing. Meanwhile, you got a guy, Reese, 2 years younger, weighs 7 or 8 pounds less, doing this off the edge. Bang. Squeeze. Flat. Aggressive. Physical. Doing the right thing for his teammates. He sees the kick out. Here he is to the left. Sees the kick out and attacks it. Attack it. Don't elude. Boom. See what he does for his team? See the difference? This is football. Again, Bailey, great hands, has a chance to be a great pass rusher at the NFL level. Not a 3-down player. This guy is. He's 2 years younger. He's outweighed by Bailey, and yet he's so much more physical and violent, I can't even tell you. He does all the little things so much better, it's mind-boggling that it's even a discussion at 2. This is how you play football. Edge, 3-3-5, reads it, tight end, down immediately, snuffs it out. Here comes the kick. Takes it on perfectly. Head outside, peeking, flat. So the back has to make a decision, has to take time. He has got to make a quicker decision. Doesn't know what to do, tries to slither through, even though Miami almost has a seal. If Reese is too far downhill, doesn't squeeze it too far enough, the back could easily have found something here. But Reese makes it happen, anchors up, outside shoulder pad, detaches, and then makes the play, in on the play. That's defense, folks.
Robbie Sabo and Frankie V Monday debating Reese versus Bailey. Quick note in the voting for Leenie and Beast. I realized I mistakenly listed Leenie as a 10 seed in the poll. She's a 16 seed. That was a typo on my end. So Beast a 1, Leenie a 16. And right now, Leenie's lead is not as much as it once was. Beast starting to make a run here. It's 57-43. Leenie leading Beast. Voting will stay open till the conclusion of the show. So Beast is starting to gain some ground with the Asmaniac community. Some super chats that we must hit and then get to your calls. But first, let me shout out T-Town Jet, who gifted a membership. Let me shout out Bronx Jet Fan, who gifted a membership. And let me shout out some super chats here. Brian says, nothing to lose, Jake. Defense must blitz often, play physical, try to get as many turnovers as possible. Just get in the dance. Can't wait for the tailgate. Brian, you're obsessed with this team being a wild card team. I think you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. Sam says, Sabo is right about Bailey. No guts. No guts. Hey, Robbie's got strong opinions. So does Tanky V. I think it will be a hell of a debate that I'll moderate on Monday. Bill Fond in the raffle for 2. Come on, people. How are you voting against Beast? He's Jake's Ed McMahon. A lot of Beast love. Joe the Jet says, Sabo is going to destroy Frankie. Joe the Jet, you're in. On Monday, you better be watching. Nate in the raffle for 4. Shout out to Amanda for behind-the-scenes work. Put my fellow Buckeye in the raffle. Sorry, Beast, you're awesome, but I had to vote for my IRL Leenie. Do something to earn votes. We've seen and earned comebacks before. So Nate saying, I love Leenie, but Beast, if you do something, you could still make a comeback. Nate, appreciate you. You are in for 4. And it says you want to donate these to Amanda Madison, so we'll make that happen as well. All right. Got a bunch of you online that want to weigh in. Ladies and gentlemen, first up today is a man who's done a lot of great things in this community. He really has. He has stepped up numerous times when this community has needed him in different ways. He's also a guy that you could say knows a thing or two about winning Asmaniac Madness, because he's the only one that has ever won the tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, he's also Beast Breaker's attorney. It's time.
The only thing better than Alden shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Yo. What a matchup, baby. What a matchup we got going on here. Leenie is the sweetest woman I have, crossed. My thoughts and my prayers and my love go to her, what she's going through. For her to even call in and still participate when real life shit is happening and us crazy Asmaniacs are doing this. Leenie, I love you. And, you are the best. You're the sweetest. And you have my prayers. And about Beast, you guys remember, I'm sure everybody remembers when Beast first got on the scene. My goodness, I couldn't stand him. I literally was like, I was part of the community. I was part of the hate. You know what I mean? People keep calling me and my phone's blowing up. That's probably why I'm a little choppy. But I just want to come out and say, for Beast's sake, oh my God, what the fuck? Someone is really paging me.
Put on Do Not Disturb.
I'm trying to. It's my brother, which makes me worry it's something important because normally he doesn't just spam call me. But I just want to say, for Beast's sake, and as Beast's lawyer, this means a lot to him. As someone who really doesn't have a lot of time, like myself, like I got 3 kids, a wife, a job. I'm constantly moving, kids going to practices and doing a lot of shit. I still give my time to Beast. It's hard to not, when you talk to the man and you realize where he's at up in the head. And I have a fucking heart. I can't do it anymore. I can't not pick up that phone. Yesterday, I was in the middle of giving the kids a bath and my wife's telling me something and Beast is calling me 3 times in a row. And it's like, yo, man, I'm in the middle of doing something, brother. But you know what? I picked up that phone. I talked to him. I talked him off the ledge, and here we are. But Beast doesn't do anything I fucking tell him. He doesn't say anything I say. Anything I tell Beast, he doesn't listen. He doesn't understand. He doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. And this means the world to him. This is his family. We are his family. He doesn't have anybody. This is it. He's got the Asmaniacs. And as pitiful as that is, that's the facts. We are his family. And someone in my situation, I have to give him whatever I can just because that's who I am, man. I'm getting paid the big bucks, maybe, as his lawyer. I get paid in he sends me burgers that are cooked to perfect the rareness. It's amazing. He sends me steaks, and he really hits me off with a lot of food. He gives me great recipes, and those are my payments I get as his big lawyer. But all I'm saying is, if you're out there and you haven't already voted for Leenie, because God, how could you not vote for Leenie after that call? She is just the sweetest person ever. But if you want to help this guy and help me not have to walk him off the ledge after the show ends, maybe just have a heart and just realize how much it means to this guy, because I know how much you guys all hate him, and you just got to realize something. He doesn't get it, man. He doesn't realize what's going on. This is who Beast is, and that's all I got, man. In my bracket, who do you think I picked? I once I saw you guys did this, it was like, wow, all right, I guess Beast is gone round 1. So I picked Leenie in the bracket. I mean, I'm trying to win in the bracket, but Beast, man, I got you, brother, even through all the hate. I'll try to do my best we have nothing in common. Leenie's the bigger Jet fan, but at the same time, this is your world, brother. This is your world, man. So I love everybody. Doesn't matter who you vote for, but if you can find it in your heart to let this big guy just get a little win in his life, the guy could use a win. And this would mean the world to him. So
Now,
I'll
Chris
give the
says
Jets
Jones is
take on
far
next
too
week.
gracious of a human being.
Well, man, we got to take this to the field, man. This is what we need for the Jets. This is what we got to do with our quarterbacks. We got to stop the hate, man. Gary V. Listen to Gary V. It's about the love. It's about the love, baby. It's about the love. But Jake, I got to go pick up my daughter. I'm late. I love you guys. I'll call on the next show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the attorney for Beastbreaker has called in, Mr. Bonesy.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We got quite the battle going on, ladies and gentlemen. A man who was too cool to be in the tournament is on the line. Jay Quest is up next. Hello, Jay Quest.
What's up, Jake? How you doing?
How are you, Mr. Quest?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing
I had
well.
a question for Faria, but he was gone. By the way, condolences to Nick's family. He lost his mother-in-law last week. I saw on X, so my prayers are out to Nick and his family.
Yep, well said.
What are your thoughts on receiver? Do you think we're going to draft 2 receivers? Do you think we're going to sign another one free agency? What about Arian Smith? Like, where are you at? I wanted to ask this to Nick, but since he's on, I'll ask you. Like, what are your thoughts on what receiver we're going to go with?
I do think they're going to double up on receiver potentially, unless they make a trade, which is the wild card in this, because the Brian Thomas rumors are real. Look, my preference is Mekhi Lemon. Could Jordan Tyson make it to them at 16 as well? For sure. There's a lot of good receivers. Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana, the tall player from Washington whose name is escaping me off the top of my head. At one point, Connor Rogers mocked him to the Jets as high as 16.
Will you see them?
Austin.
Can you see them going first on that second round receiver, or is that too crazy to think?
I'd be a little surprised, but I don't think it's crazy to think they could. I mean, it truly could be best player available, and there's a lot of really good receivers.
Are you think Arian Smith's going to make the team next year?
I think his roster spot's in jeopardy.
Yeah, he wasn't good last year at all. You know, a little disappointed in that draft pick. You know, because everyone mocked it bad. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a terrible pick," and then there's Glenn defended him, and it's like we saw it.
He had 7 catches and got replaced by Isaiah Williams. Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe Isaiah Williams steps up this year and has a bigger role. Hope to see that with Reich being the OC now. And
who'd you vote for,
Beast and Leenie? I didn't vote yet because I've been on hold the whole time. I was in the car waiting at the food shop, so I was waiting in the car hoping to get on. Then I gave up. You put Bonesy on, I'm like, I got to start food shop because my wife's gonna kill me. Listen, Beast shouldn't even be on the internet, bro. You know how I feel about that. He's unstable. I feel bad for him. I mean, if you vote for him, I get it. Leanie's the queen. She's the OG. She's my hall pass. Her and Genergy. My wife said I could sleep with them. She would let me do it. So that's all I got. But so don't forget that, Genergy and Leenie. Sorry, Mr. Leenie. It's true though.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Leenie, what are your thoughts on being Jay Quest Hall Pass?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to my boss, my brother.
Oh, well.
I'm sorry. I missed it. What did Jay Quest say?
Jay Quest called in. He gave his endorsement of you, and he says that his wife has approved you being his Hall Pass.
Oh, okay. Hey, at 62, you'll take compliments wherever you can get them.
Well said, Leenie. You're a true champion, a real Cinderella.
I love that. I don't know if you saw me, but when that came on, I was hysterical. Love it, love it, love it. I wish I looked like that in real life. She's a little hottie.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leenie in North Carolina. Vote.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Scoreboard update, 57-43, Leenie leading. Beast is making a comeback, though. It was in the 60s, and some votes have come in for Beast, so keep that in mind. Jess has gifted a membership. Good job, Jess. She's in the raffle now for one more of your calls on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. The Rooster's next. Hey, Rooster.
How we doing today, Jake?
What's up, Rooster?
I'm going to make a quick case for the Beast because I wanted my my impression when I first tuned into the show this year. I was new, and the first thing I saw was this wild man beast. I had no idea what I was watching. I clicked off. I thought it was a spoof show. Started turning back on. Here's the story with the beast. This is not a Leenie deal. She was horribly underseeded. How was she a 16 seed?
Call volume. She only called like twice in the last 8 months,
Okay.
9 months.
Okay, so it's it. The beast is there every day. And for all the people who say he makes me sick, he makes me this, he makes me that, you're watching him. You're tuning into him. Whether you hate him or not, that is not the story today. The story today is that this gentleman is a big part of the show. When you just said commitment, no one has more commitment to good or bad, indifferent. He is committed to whatever that commitment is, fighting the good battle in that attic. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. That's all. And I love Leenie. She's a sweetheart. And let me tell you one thing, Leenie, though. The beast showed for the first time in a long time a little class by not attacking her today. Deep down, the beast is a sweetheart. And he didn't want to attack a nice lady like Leenie. She was egging him on, and he passed. He's had a tough go run. The burgers maybe gave him salmonella. I don't know what happened, but it happened. Everyone, remember what this show is. Now let's talk a little football. What are we doing talking about tanking? What's going on in this world? Geno Smith, we wanted a Bridgeport quarterback. We got him. He is better than Justin Fields. The talent on this football team is better than last year right now. We are going to get a high draft pick. The GM is showing you. Let's go in there positive and then let it play out as it plays out. Why are we talking about how bad Geno's going to be? We don't know. We don't know.
He could be good. We don't know.
He's 2 years ago, he's fine. Most probably, he might not be, but is not talking. The tank doesn't make sense. Quick point. I am a little concerned with the interior offensive line. When you let ABT go, and he wanted to go, we are now a little mid. Now, I agree with you. I don't want it at 16, but I really think in round 2, we got to think about an offensive lineman to push Tippmann back to center. And otherwise, you're mid inside. And all of a sudden, our great offensive line is not so great inside. So I would really consider an offensive lineman in round 2. I had one more point today. I'm all worked up. This poor beast. It's got me rattled. The beast. The 16s don't beat ones. This isn't Maryland, Baltimore County versus Virginia. Okay, people? Put your hate away. Let this gentleman continue to do what he does, or you're going to lose him. And when we lose him, then what? One more football point. Again, Robbie Sabo versus this guy on Monday is going to be a blowout of blowouts. You are sacrificing that guy. He doesn't even know what sleeping is, okay? If you don't know if a guy is sleeping, then you don't know. Frankie V, if Bailey, it's not even Bailey. It's between Styles and Reese. Styles and Reese. We're not taking David Bailey. Robbie Sabo's right. You're either going to say to yourself, Styles is superstar or Reese is a mega superstar. Styles probably has less of a ceiling. Anyway, to all the people out there, look yourself in the mirror before you make this vote today. Don't ruin this tournament today. And I love Leenie. Vote for the beast. Thank you.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
God, Rooster is an amazing caller. Love the passion. The way he was passionate about the Jets and he was passionate about voting for Beast is just incredible. Shout out to you, Rooster. You're in this thing next year if you remain a constant fixture in the community. Rooster's a great caller, man. He only started calling like 2 months ago, maybe. Man. 57-43. Leenie still leading in poll voting right now. Kevin says, I voted Beast. He's the building block of the show. And I'm with you, Rooster. I do think Robbie is going to be a buzzsaw for Frankie, so that's going to be fun. I'm excited. All right, let me get to the remaining calls here. We still got some time for people to vote, and if you tuned in late, you're going to want to enter the raffle today. Great prize. Wanted to pay homage to Matt Snell. So we're going to give away the Super Bowl III gold ticket frame display to anyone who enters the raffle on this show, and then we'll give it away during our second stream this afternoon. Matt O'Leary is my guest then. He couldn't, he was feeling under the weather, so we didn't have him on in his normal spot yesterday. So we moved Matt to this afternoon. All right, here we go. Let's say hello to a man who knows a thing or two about being a 1 seed. It's Clifton time.
You're right about Rooster being a tremendous caller, but I think he's kind of off base on this topic, and I'm going to tell you why. Beast was a little rough on Leenie in the private chat. Kind of inexcusable. I understand what his excuse is, but it's just, if I could say one thing to Beast right now, it would be this. This tournament is not an indictment of who you are or what you mean to the show. It is a moment in time popularity contest that takes in everything across the spectrum of what you bring to the show. Humor, insight, kindness, patience towards your other callers in the community. So when you display stuff like that, it's gonna hurt you in that moment in time. It doesn't mean that it won't be forgiven, because we all understand Beast, who he is and what he brings to the show. I don't think we would have a show such as it's become without him. But I think, Leenie is kind of a rare 16 seed, and she's showing that today. It's been ultra competitive. Beast is making a run towards the end here. And the best caller is going to win based on the feelings of the community, and that's the democratic process as we've come to know it over the last 2 years.
Well said, Kyle.
It's that really that simple. As far as the draft is going to go, we have to be prepared for someone that we don't expect to be there at 16 being there and being able to pivot. Hopefully that player will be a weapon. Hopefully that player will not be Ty Simpson. Because I think that we will be better off long-term if our quarterback is taken in the first round of 2027. I think that there's still a wide receiver to be had in free agency. That might be a starter. It might be a wide receiver 4. It might be a guy that's, they're looking to push Arian Smith off the team, like we said, or maybe we're getting that guy in the 4th round. Maybe that's a guy like Brendan Thompson or Zachariah Branch. Maybe we have to trade up to get him to the 3rd, or we have to trade back in the 2nd and 3rd to grab a guy like that. But I feel like somewhere between 16 and 44 with those 3 picks, and we could end up having more, that there are going to be 2 weapons coming down off the board. And, we want this thing to be turnkey when we do have that quarterback that is going to be our forever quarterback in place. One last word on the Beast. When he first joined the show, like Bonesy said, I wasn't a huge fan because I thought that he was going to get you demonetized. I thought he was going to harm the show that I had come to really love. He hasn't done that. I think you've done a great job, along with some of the people behind the scenes and some of the other callers, of providing him with a sense of belonging. And, he's always going to have a home here as long as he continues to be respectful. But he shouldn't take any performance today too much to heart. And that's basically all I have to say to that. Good luck to both combatants, and I will talk to you soon, Jake.
Wait, Kyle, before you go, I need your reaction. You're the number 1 seed in your region. Your region has completed the opening round. Give us your takeaways on how things played out.
I think that I missed on 2 of those matchups. Just for full disclosure, I don't have myself winning in my bracket, my region. So, we'll see. Rob is certainly a worthy opponent, and he's an OG. I respect everyone I'm going to be going up against. And then, to me, the juggernaut in that entire bracket is Lane Kerner, because Lane Kerner is one of one. He is really someone that cannot be duplicated. And, people are going to find out if they haven't, it was so humbling to lose to someone who didn't even know he was competing last year. It really helped me put my ego in check.
Ricky could be in for a tough one, man. The lane train's coming through.
And Ricky is a tremendous caller, but I mean, that's someone you don't want to go up against, early in this tournament, because he's just so beloved and brings something that's really special. Chef Kevin and Neil, I think we both understand what they bring. Whether you agree with Neil or not, the entertainment value for his calls are off the charts. Chef Kevin does so much for the show, both by calling in and behind the scenes. It's just been great so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing, in the Alliance region how things play out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number 1 overall seed in the tournament, Kyle Clifton.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Outstanding call there by Clifton. Let's keep it rolling with your outstanding calls.
Chuck Wagon's always cooking, which it takes. Chuck Wagon's even cooking at the game. Chuck Wagon hates McDonald's, but he's headed home to cook. It's time once again for Chuck Wagon.
Every year to begin the start of the tournament, number 1 seed usually does fall, get behind a 16 seed in the first half. So it's not over by any stretch, Beast. There's still lots of time for you to make a comeback, and you only have to win by 1 point. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter how you get there. You just have to keep on going. I wish your guest was still on, Nick, but I'll just ask you, Jake, what 2 positions do you still think the Jets need to address before the draft?
Receiver.
And
Receiver.
So basically 2 receivers?
I mean, I think they should add at least 1 receiver. I think they 100% could definitely add another safety. Doesn't feel like they will after they sign Belton. Maybe a linebacker. They always could add more pass rush up. There's not a whole lot left, though. So I'd say receiver. Maybe they add another kicker for the competition with Cade York, who they signed.
Yes. I was thinking, and I know this is outside the box thinking, but what about tight end? Do you think they should is there any tight ends out there that they could try to bring in?
I don't think they're going to shop in the tight end market. I think that's a draft type of thing. They re-signed Ruckert. They have Taylor in year 2. I don't see them spending any notable resource in tight end.
Okay. I was just curious what other positions you thought we could still try to pick at before the draft. So thank you for the time, Jake. And I can't wait for it to be my turn.
Chuck Wagon, great call. Keep it rolling with great calls. Jets Johnny's next. Hey, Johnny.
Jake, my brother, we're going to keep it short and simple today. First of all, how you doing?
Is Leenie on your hall pass as well?
Listen, I'm not going to disclose that. My wife is close by, but we'll just keep it like that. I think it's very obvious who I'm voting for today. But I do have one thing to say, and this is directly addressed to the committee, because they should be.
Well, it'd be nice for you to address the committee if we could hear you. Johnny, we can't hear you. Call back. Your phone line cut out at like the worst time. Paul is next. Hey, Paul.
What's going on, brother?
What's up, Paul?
Just touching base. You know, before they were talking about the Colts, I definitely think the Colts are in trouble this year. I feel that GM has not made wise decisions to help that franchise. And I think we're going to do well with that pick. What else did I want to discuss? It was a while I've been on hold, but I'm starting to be a little more optimistic than I've been. I try to put myself in other shoes, and I'm very happy with Mougey, as everybody else is. I hope it continues. I've been preaching that we need him to be legit. The whole quarterback scenario next year, you don't know. It's always a crapshoot. Reality is, we could have a whole new coaching staff next year, and the whole Manning thing is BS, right? He's going to go where he's going to go this time. That's not going to happen again. What else did I want to touch on? I'm open with getting as many quarterbacks in the room as possible because you never know. It's a crapshoot. We need to hit on a winner and end this nightmare. But I really do believe that next year we're going to be a lot more competitive than people think. I look at what AG had to deal with last year. I think he was in way over his head. I feel a year is going to benefit him. I'm not going to say he's going to do great. All I'm saying is that I think with the moves they've been making in the offseason has been huge. I think we're underestimating it a little bit. It is going to come down to quarterback and coaching, but they had to clean house. And then you look at our quarterback. We just picked up Geno Smith, right? You're comparing stats to last year on a team that was clearly incompetent as well as our team was, right? And what did we do? We had a clean house to get rid of the bad blood and get rid of the people that didn't want to play ball anymore, and we're bringing in fresh people. So he falls under that category, right? Like, he left a bad scenario. He's going to try to come here, and he's going to do his best to produce. I really believe that. And I think with everybody they brought in some ballers. They brought in people that, are just every day they go to work, they put their pants on, they work hard. And Breece Hall is my last bit is, I'm still going to wait. I'm not 100% sold we're going to get a deal going on him. And I really believe that I don't know if he really wants to be here. I still don't think he really does. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a deal done and he plays the year out and goes for next year. That's my thoughts. I don't see it. I'm not expecting it like everybody else is that we're going to get a deal with him. I heard stuff from other people that I know, and they, I just don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. But thanks again for everything you do. And hopefully I can win a raffle. Be great.
Paul, good luck. Great call, man. Appreciate you. A couple super chats. Aria says, can anyone $1 Million Man this and buy a win? No. But if you make an offer, I'd strongly consider rigging the whole tournament because I am a Capplefish after all. Uno Jets in the raffle for 2. Jake, we all have to admit sometimes the beast makes us all laugh, but it is what it is. Oh, he definitely makes people laugh. Whether you love him or hate him, you watch.
Fucking diarrhea, cha-cha-cha.
Uno, you're on the raffle for 2. Robin with the super chat. Leenie will prove civility can win elections. Robin, thank you for the super chat. More calls. Jets Johnny was about to criticize the Asmaniac Madness committee and his audio cut out. Hello, Johnny.
You see how they sabotaged me, Jake? They sabotaged me in the actual tournament. Now they're tanking my internet. This is crazy, man. These guys need to be investigated. This is what I'm talking about, right? They put Kyle Clifton as a number 1 seed, and then they put Jason from Chicago as a 1 seed. This doesn't make any sense, right? You got Kyle Clifton, who brings nothing but heat every time he calls, nothing but great takes every time he calls. He's on every single Jets show. Everybody knows Kyle Clifton. Everybody loves Kyle Clifton. And then you got Beastbreaker. Like, what are we even doing here? So it makes sense that he's getting exited first round by Leenie to me. Like, this makes perfect sense.
Let's see what you have put Beast, though.
Honestly, he's on your payroll, so he shouldn't be in the tournament because he was getting paid. But if we're gonna put him in the tournament, and
What do
I'm
you mean
being
he's on my payroll?
you guys giving him $30 a
No,
month
we're
for
not. We're not. We
for
gave him
exclusive.
we
That's
we gave him a one-time payment for being the master of Raffle ceremony as a bit. What are you talking about?
okay. That's what I heard, Jake. That's the rumor going around that
He's
he's on
not
a
making
30.
30 a week.
Oh.
He violated the terms of Gators agreement with them. That long ended.
Okay. So I guess I'm out of the loop on that one. But he did accept payment from the Jake Asman show, so that technically should disqualify him. And if I'm being
How
consistent,
does
then
that
Johnny.
disqualify him?
Well, because you're saying that like no content creators can be in the tournament and whatnot,
He's
right?
not Johnny. I love you, but please, you think Beastbreaker is a content creator? What show does he have?
I mean, for your show though, that's what I'm saying. Like he's involved in the show more than
He
a
calls
normal.
into the show.
No, I
Every
got
day.
you. I got you. But he does the raffle stuff and he does like little breaks and stuff like that. It's all good. I would probably, if I'm being objective, if I'm being honest, he's probably about a 3 to 4 seed. That's where I would put Beastbreaker.
So your
He
big
should-
issue is that the committee ranked him a 1, and you think he's a
yeah,
3 or 4. That's your
they
big problem.
they overranked him, right? And
He's
he's
not
not.
overranked though. It's based on people who contribute to the show year round. He calls every day. How many moments has he been a part of? You could not like Beast, but he's deserving of his seating.
I disagree. I think he's like a 3 seed. I don't think he should be a 1 seed at all. But we'll agree to disagree. Either way, Queenie took this
Look,
easily.
it was up for the committee to decide. Again, I just listened in, and it felt pretty unanimous that Beast was going to be one of the 4-1 seeds.
Well, the committee has made some questionable decisions in the first tournament and in the second tournament. So, it is what it is, man. Shout out to Queenie for the easy victory. She's the salt of the earth. Shout out to Mr. Leenie. And that's really all I got, Jake. We'll see you next time.
Johnny, appreciate the strong takes. I do. I disagree with some of them, but I'll defend your right to give those opinions on Asmaniac Madness. The committee's got thick skin. They can handle criticism. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with your outstanding calls on the show. We say hello to Gator McCluskey, who's next. Hello, Gator.
Hello, Jake.
How was Vegas?
Vegas was fun. It was short, but that's what Vegas should be. You shouldn't stay there too long. You get in trouble, especially with Rat Diddy. But yeah, I had a great time, man. Of course, during my flight, I had to, try to prepare Beast for today as best I could, because I think we all knew what was going to happen. But, a lot of people out there, they don't vote for Beast for the right reasons. And I think a bunch of them don't vote for Beast maybe for the wrong reasons. But what I will say about this tournament is if you look at last year, it does come down to, the folks with the best jet takes, the folks that were, really dug into this team. And that's why most of our 1 seeds got eliminated, whether it be Chiefs fan or Bobby Midnight, and Charles. Ultimately, they weren't the ones that brought in, the true jet takes that really, made it fascinating. And that, you look at Lowski and Bonesy, and that's kind of what they did. That's why they kind of, rose to the top. Even Gary, at least with all of Gary's craziness, when he does call in, he digs deep into the analytics of the team. I learn a lot from Gary, not, personally, but, when it comes to the Jets and college players and this and that. And that's why everybody's talking up Kyle so highly, because again, if you look at last year, Kyle's just knocking it out of the park in terms of his knowledge and the thoughts that he brings. So, Beast has a lot going against him. First of all, and this is a conversation I've had with him a number of times, you can't hate everybody constantly. You can't yell at everybody constantly. You can't be angry all the time, And there are times where Beast is sweet, and we've all seen that side of him. And I think that there's enough people that have watched for long enough, the ones that despised Beast and then said that, you know what, he's not as bad as I, made him out to be. I think over time they saw the different sides of him because he is an enigma. He's just, the guy is just, he's unlike anyone you've probably ever met. He leaves too much of himself out there. You know, I think there's probably a lot of Trump supporters, for example, in the chat, but we all know you don't talk religion and you don't talk politics, right? Well, Beast puts that right on his sleeve. So if you're anti-MAGA, you're probably gonna not vote for the Beast because you can't stand that line of thinking. You must think he's an idiot for having those beliefs, and that's kind of the way it goes. And Beast also likes to quote pop culture constantly, and he comes from an era where way before woke, way before cancel culture, where you look at the films from the 70s and 80s where you could get away with saying certain things in films, whether he watches Coming to America and he thinks nothing of quoting Coming to America, and it may make him sound like he's this, as lots of people like to call him a racist, but like Beast is just he's a quoter of pop culture, and he doesn't necessarily always think about or know exactly what he's talking about when he does it. That's my wife, by the way, Mrs. Gator.
Mrs. McCluskey.
Yeah, Mrs. McCluskey. But anyway, I wish people understood, how Beast is put together and how, delicate and how dangerous he is. I have a proposal that I want to bring by you, Jake, and we're doing it publicly here, but I believe that Beast is part of the show, and to Jets Johnny's point, who most of what he said I don't necessarily agree with, but I think that Beast is part of the show. I think he's an integral part of the show. I think he's hilarious. He makes me belly laugh daily, and Jake the same. I'm sure you'd say the same.
Woo, 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 woo.
So to me, Beast is part of the show, and he probably should not be in the tournament because I think there's two reasons why he shouldn't be in the tournament. One, he's just on another level in terms of like his contributions to this show. Not to say he's a content creator, but he's almost like a co-host in a lot of ways. But the problem was when you put somebody on, and you see this with the Addy show, the Bobby show, when you do a Zoom meeting for 4 to 8 hours a day, eventually somebody's going to say something that they probably shouldn't or that they regret. If you go back and watch hours and hours and hours of those shows, eventually you'll find something that would probably get you canceled on this show or any other show because it's just too open a forum. And Beast is he's not that filtered, and he's given a platform where he can talk probably a total of 4 to 5 hours a week. He's on screen, and that's a great thing, and it's also a dangerous thing. But ultimately, I think it's probably too much for the majority of the chat to deal with in terms of like, I'm going to vote for that guy. I love him. I don't think it'll ever get to that point, but to me, as long as he is such an integral part of the show the way I think he is, I propose we add him to the committee. And I'll discuss it with Boom and, throw it past the other guys. But maybe Beast's actual role should be, as an Asmaniac. And I believe that Beast is an Asmaniac, and he's one of the greatest Asmaniacs of all time. He may be better off helping us determine who is entertainment for the show, who has the best jet takes. Bring him into the fold. He'll be one vote out of many. But that would be my proposal, and I think that's where Beast belongs. He doesn't belong in this competition because this competition it's not for him. I don't think he'll ever win this tournament as much as some people would love to see that happen. I just don't think it will. So anyway, that's what I propose. And look, I love Beast. I talk to him personally. There are times I yell at him at the top of my lungs, and he frustrates me like a child who, I'm trying to raise. Bonesy deals with him. My buddy Rat did. He had a few calls with him, and he understands it. There's certain people that have talked to him. I encourage you, friend Beast on Instagram. If you have a beef with him, if you think, hey, he's a racist, he's a this, he's a that, friend him on Instagram, message him, talk to him, tell him how you feel. And he loves to talk, so audio call, video call, whatever. I encourage you to do that understand the man a little bit more, and you'll see the size of him that I see, that some of the others see, that Jake sees, that Bonesy sees, that several of the other people see. Because I totally get it. First time, if you don't really know the guy, I could get you hating him. I get it. Absolutely. But as Leenie may have seen a tiny little sliver of that good beast, of course, she saw the horrible beast in the private chat. There's no excuse for that. And I will address that with him. You know, there's a good guy in there. You just have to understand the deficiencies in his personality and the difficulties in his life to cut the guy a little bit of slack and you know, move on and enjoy the tournament. And that's the biggest thing I try to get Beast to understand. This is fun. We need to have fun with this thing. Shouldn't be taken that seriously. And I love all you guys. So let's just keep it going and have a great tournament, with or without the Beast.
I'm Beast Breaker and I love Harry Potter. I'm a magical fart wizard. Abracadabra, bitches. I'm gonna blast ass in my diaper. Get me a bag of dicks. Get me a bag of dicks. Get me a bag of dicks. Bag of dicks. Bag of dicks. Bag of dicks.
Great call by Gator. A ton of people disagree with him. A ton of people agree with him. It'll be interesting to see what Boomtown and the Asmaniac Madness committee decides to do a year from now. But Beast is in the tournament this year. That is a fact. And right now, starting to get tight. 56-44. Leenie, the 16th seed, is leading Beastbreaker. Can Beast mount a comeback, or is Leenie going to move on? Brian with a super chat. Gator thinking is overrated. Aria says, when did Jake come to know Kevin James? That was actually not Gator. That was Kevin James, who just called in. Doc Jet Fan says, wondering how I lived without the show the first 64 years of my life. Sheer brilliance. Great take, Gator. There you go. Doc approving of what Gator's call was about. Just for fun, Asmaniac Madness is a good old boys club. Beast is being robbed. Meanwhile, Jet Johnny's outraged that Beast is a 1 seed. So you just can't win, you know? You just can't win with people. More of your calls right now. Chef Kevin's next. What's up, Kev?
Hey, Jake, man. I appreciate you showing love and support, man. Definitely appreciate that, man. Awesome show, man. Yesterday, you know, me and Berger went at it. I won. I know he had some stuff going on. I had some stuff going on as well, but he's a really good caller. Just wishes he calls more. But you know, he's a good dude. It wasn't really lopsided or whatever, but you know, salute to Berger, and you know, taking care of work, doing what he got to do. I'm only calling in because I missed, I guess, stuff before with Beast. I just came on, you know, show some support like I would normally do, and you know, I had a vote for Queenie. Queenie, she's one of those people that have found me on Instagram, and you know, she reaches out in certain times. I make certain things public, and knows a little tough, and you know, she's somebody that's just like, she's there, she's around. You might not see her all the time, but when something's going on, like, yo, she'll check in on you, and it's some friendly kind of love, man. And you can't take away the passion for the team, the passion for the Jets. I met her last the Halloween game, and ball of energy. Met her son, Mr. Leenie. Yo, really great people, man. And I think it just shows it's not about rank in this community. It's more about the love, and it really doesn't matter how many times you're actually on the show. It's what you bring, the amount of love that you have. There's a bunch of people that do different things. Just Leenie, somebody there, you know, representing that 4.5%, man. We pushing the 5, like where people like kind of gravitate to her, listen to her feedback. Definitely a great spirit, but don't get it twisted, man. Beast, like what Gator's saying, and other people, like I love Jets Johnny, good dude. But Beast is the number one, man. Like when it comes to the show and what he's like doing, I'm somebody that didn't like Beast at the beginning. I was more like what Bonesy was saying earlier, where I actually spent money a couple times, $50 clips, to send Beast to the hole. I did that. And yo, I ain't got no problem, admitting that. And just knowing like, hey, yo, it takes time, man. And I saw the vision with you and Gator. Like, there's certain things that I don't like that he does, and certain, politic things that he brings on, which, just leave that aside. But when it comes to like the wow factor and what he does, like, yo, he brings it. The aerobic stuff that he did, I tried to get a part of it, and then he called me B-Mac. That was another thing. I'm like, damn, and now you playing me out, like you're saying this stuff. But yo, he grew on me. He grew on me. He's a part of this community, whether people like it or not. He brings something here. But I just felt like just going against Queenie, that was just like not in his cards. But there is stuff down the line for Beast. Just don't worry about this stuff, man. Everybody loses. There's only one winner in this. All right. So, don't take it to heart, man. Just, keep on going. Be positive. Don't bring other people down. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. And make sure little Joey's taken care of, my man.
Kev, congrats on your win yesterday, man. Great job.
No, I appreciate it, Jake. I ain't got no Jets take. I just wanted to, come in and chime on Asmaniac Madness. And to be honest, man, you got another minute for me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So in my region with Clifton, all right, inside outside, it's a wrap. It's done. It was like, people kind of did what they did. I'm an underdog, big underdog in this. I'm going against Neil. Neil is in my mind one of the OGs, one of the pillars in this community. Him, Lowski, and Bonesy are my top three. Have always been that way. So in this, I'm a grassroots dude, Jake. I'm trenches. I didn't grow up with a lot of money. I still don't have it, but I grind. I'm one of those Jet fans growing up where I, paid for 300 seats, worked my way down, messing around, just kidding around. I'm one of those cats. Backpackers, I'm one of those fans. And then I finally got a little bit older, got some season tickets with some buddies, started doing with the family, bring my son to this and all changing. And now from the 300s started to go down to 200s. Like, yo, I represent the Jet fan, man. Like, those every day, the blue collars. Yo, we gonna make this fun, man. Neil, just know, just like last year, I went at Bones. I'm gonna bring the goods, man. I'm gonna bring the goods. I'm not calling nobody out. I'm just saying we gonna have some fireworks, man. This ain't gonna be an easy one for you. Just know it's all respect, all love. But how I went at Bones, we gonna rumble, man. Believe that.
Let's go.
Sometimes the Jet fans get a little bit crazy. Let's go, baby.
That's going to be a fun one. Chef Kevin, Neil, two diehard Jet fans. Love that. Big fella says, have a feeling I'm going to have to extend my office hours today. Great call, Gator. The tournament's supposed to be fun. Some take it too seriously. Yeah, this is literally a tournament about people who call into a Jet YouTube show. Like, it's fun. Ralphie in the raffle for two. Leanie's like everyone's favorite Ann. A vote for her is not a vote against Beast. Put me in the raffle. I went to elementary school with Matt Snell's son and got to meet Snell every parent/teacher NT. Ralphie, that's awesome. You're in the raffle for two. Let's get to the last couple of calls I got here. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline right now is none other than...
I'm Black Gypsy. I'm gonna set all you delusional Jets fans straight. Your takes make me wanna punch you in the face or kick you in the crotch. When this team sucks, they suck. I'm Black Gypsy. I'm Black Gypsy. I'm Black Gypsy. I'm Black Gypsy.
Jake, as Bonesy would say, my brother. So, I have a question for you, Mr. Asman. Why was I put in timeout while the chat was going? What did I do for you to time out?
I didn't time you out. So I very rarely time people out during the show. That's what the moderators are for. If you cross the line with something you said.
All right. So here's my thing. Jets Johnny is incorrect. Beats is a number one seed by far. Now, to what Gator said, I disagree. You can be a dick and still be nice sometimes. Like, you can be the biggest asshole on the planet, and somebody be like, you know what, that guy's been nice to me. My reason for not liking Beast, when Beast first came on, we go back with tape. Like, I enjoyed Beast. Like, the shit that he would say was hilarious to me. Where Beast took a turn for me is I have numerous screenshots of it, of him just saying racist ass shit to me. And with that even said, I still let it pass, and I'm like, this Beast is entertaining. He is very entertaining. But Gator says one thing that's true. He shouldn't be a part of the tournament. He is a number 1 seed, but he should not be a part of the tournament because he's on so much that we have opinions that are already built in on him. So no matter what he does, it's going to be hard for him to win in any actual bracket of anybody that's actually liked because he's a douche. And you can be a douche and still be liked. People can still like a douchebag. There's many douchebags out there that are famous. Beast will be one of those ones. He's a famous Asmaniac douchebag. Well, let's not get it twisted. The reason why he's losing is because he's a douchebag. Like, he's not nice. He's very selfish. He can't say thank you. Like, in all the ways of being a nice person, he doesn't have it. We have to go reach out to him and baby him and be like, oh, Beast. Like, no. Why would we doing that? We're all grown-ass men, bro. Like, I'm not going to baby a 42-year-old dude. No one's babying me at 47. Like, life is hard. Get an umbrella, bro. Like, get a helmet. Do something. Stop crying. Like, we watched him cry online. You can't be the tough guy and then be the like, come on. Like, come on. Like, we can make a difference in a douchebag and a nice guy. Beast is a douchebag. Like, I respect him for being a douchebag because I know what he is. I know that I could never hang out with Beast. I could never be friends with Beast. But Beast is entertaining for the show. And at the end of the day, the show is what we all call in to watch. I don't really care about Beast. But when he acts like he's the victim, he's not the victim. He is the person that creates the victims. He goes out there and says crazy shit, and then when we react to it, it's our fault for reacting to it. Like, no, you said it, bro. Your words are what we define you by. So now that you've said some shit, we have something else to say. If you don't say racist shit to me, I don't have nothing to say back to him. Like, every chance he gets, like, it was funny, but it's so fucked up. He said to me in one of the chats, like, this is Trump country, boy. Better watch out. I just laughed to myself, like, what do you mean this is Trump country? You're gonna deport me, Beast? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, just the way he talks and the narrative behind some of the things that he says is just like, yo, you're a douche. You can't be an entertaining douche. So, like, I don't hate Beast. I just don't respect Beast. I can't have any conversations with him because whenever I say, he's not going to answer back. He's going to say some crazy shit and not acknowledge what I said. And it's just a conversation between him and himself. Like, we're not even saying words to him. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, two things can be true. Like, you can be a douchebag and be liked by some people. So, Gator, stop making excuses for him. Everyone, stop making excuses for him. Let him be the douchebag that he is. And whether you like him or not, you don't. Don't tell us that we should like him or we should give him the, like, nah, bro. Like, you made your bed, you lay in your bed. He made his bed, now he lays in it. That's it. Now, he can call me a clown-sucking douchebag or whatever 80s reference that he's going to use. He's hilarious, but he's still a douche. And that's all I really got. Asmaniac.
What does everybody?
Black Gypsy with some strong takes to the Asmaniac community. Wow, what a show, man. We've seen total opposite sides of the Beast debate. Gator, Black Gypsy, Bonesy, Jets Johnny. Unbelievable. Right now, it's 57-43. 721 votes have been cast. Unbelievable. More of your calls right now. We know this guy always has lots to say.
What do you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall? What's up, Asmaniacs? How you guys doing? So, to recap what Black Gypsy says, I want Leenie to win this matchup. You know, Beastbreaker is not going to win. I called it a week ago that Leenie was going to upset Beast in this round. You know, Beast, he has the worst haircut of all time. His haircut looks like something from the 1980s. All he does all day is sit in his lair all day. He can't even throw. Look at my muscles. I have bigger muscles than Beast. Look, ask Beast if he can even throw 5 punches in a row. See if he can even throw punches. Because he's down bad. But we got... Honestly, Beast, Leenie is going to upset you. Look at me, Beast. Look at me punches not thrown. we got a new strategy now. If Leenie wins this, first off, we're going to be facing James B. James B doesn't know what's coming from. He thinks, oh, he's going to win this matchup. A lot of Asmaniacs like, oh, James B's going to win. Nope, I'm going to win this matchup. We're going to be marketing this event in New York City. I'll be doing the Aaron Glenn. This is what I'm going to do to beat James B. The Aaron Glenn salsa dance is how we're going to beat James B. We're going to do our marketing skills. I'll be doing my little commercial in the city.
You realize your match is not till next week, though, Mad Max.
I know. We got on Tuesday, right? First show, right?
No, I don't believe that is the case at all.
I believe so.
I don't believe so at all.
So we have pork in the morning and Thunder Lips.
Right. Adam and Jedaholic tomorrow. Papa and Derek Monday morning. Actually, you know what? You said, what did you say, Tuesday? You might be right, actually. Well done. I stand, hand up. I got my days confused. I think you're right. It is Tuesday.
I'll be in the city, Jake. So I'll be in New York City. So.
All right. Mad Max, I stand corrected. You're going Tuesday, it looks like.
I am correct. I've looked at it and I was like, James B will be, and then after I beat James B, Philly Noodles is up next. Philly Noodles thinks so. He's got it in the bag. Don't worry about it, Philly Noodles. We're gonna be throwing these punches.
How do you know that Philly Noodles is gonna win though?
Philly Noodles is a more popular caller than Australian Jets fan. That's just my thoughts on it.
I'll tell you what, Mad Max talking a lot of smack. Max, we'll see how you do. I can't wait.
Sounds good.
Unreal, man. That's going to be a good one. Mad Max and James B. The two brothers going at it. Some of the other notable matches in the Dangerous Alliance region, Noodles and AJF, Papa Jet and Derek, Adam and Jedaholic. That will be tomorrow. Pork and Thunder Lips this afternoon. Going to be a lot of fun, folks. What a tournament, huh? But right now, all eyes are on the Beast and Leenie. Do we have our first Cinderella of this year's tournament? Leenie in North Carolina. Can she pull off the upset? Last chance to vote because we're over 2 hours, so we're in the home stretch of the show. Knob writes in, BG, that's Black Gypsy dropping straight dimes. Mike Deesnut says, I stand with Gypsy. We are caught up on the super chats. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to Cannonball Eric. Hello, Eric.
Hey, Jake. I just wanted to give my opinion on this whole beast thing real quick.
Eric, do me a favor. It's tough to hear you. Can you do something with your audio?
Oh, it might be crappy. Is that better or not really?
Yeah, a little better. Go ahead.
I was going to say with the whole beast thing, I'm not a huge fan of his content. I don't really find it entertaining, but he definitely deserves the 1 seed. Anybody saying he doesn't is crazy. And I agree with what that Gator was saying, how he shouldn't even be in the tournament at all. But the one thing I want to say is a lot of these people are saying they're coddling him too much or he doesn't understand things. I think it's really obvious that Beast Baker has like some form of like heavy autism, and people who are expecting him to behave or just get things in a certain way are really overlooking that fact. You know, I'm not trying to excuse him being racist or anything like that, but you can't just like expect him to behave like every single other person in this community, even though probably a lot of them are dealing with that too. So I just wanted to say that because like wanting him to lose is one thing, but like actually trying to like bully a mentally disabled person is kind of fucked up.
Well said, Eric. Appreciate you. Cannibal Eric checking in. He's clearly a 1 seed. Again, I didn't give opinions on any of this. I really, to the best of my ability, tried to stay out of it. Like, if there was something ridiculous, I'd be like, we can't do that. But, like, it was pretty unanimous with the committee. 1 seeds are Clifton, Beast, Gary, and there was really only debate for who the 4th number 1 seed was because Gorman really carried the show in the summer months, but then he left to be a Colts fan briefly. But he's Charles Gorman. He's clearly a 1 seed. And I think he should be in the tournament, but we got a year to decide if he's in it next year. No doubt about that. I will say this, though, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to close poll voting because, ladies and gentlemen, Cinderella is moving on. Our first ever 16 seed beating a 1 seed. Leenie in North Carolina has done it. And Leenie joins us right now. Leenie, you are the first 16 to beat a 1 in tournament history. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate all the love and all the support. And you guys are great. Thank you. Sorry, Beast, but, you know, the Asmaniacs have spoken.
Leenie, you won 57-43, 735 votes that were cast.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Thank you to the committee for, allowing me to get into the play-in round. It's all they're doing. But thank you. And I'm not sure who my opponent will be next week, or whatever day it is, but we'll cross that bridge.
Well,
but
Leenie,
thanks so much.
You're going to play the winner. You're going to play the winner.
I'm sorry with Beast that he was in a bad mood today. I really thought he was going to come after me, and I was ready for it, and I wanted to laugh and all that stuff, but he just was not in a good mood today. So he needs a hug. So I'm hugging you, Beast, and hopefully you'll have a better day.
Leenie, you're awesome, and you'll play the winner of Pork or Thunder Lips, so you'll know this afternoon who your opponent is.
Oh, okay. That should be fun.
Leenie,
those two are better callers than me, so I think I'm done.
I don't know. You're the Cinderella of the tournament for now.
I love that. Shout out to Nick. I love it. I wish I looked that good and like, look at her. That's a hottie. I wish I looked like that in real life.
You're not wrong. I mean, Jquest said you're on his hall. You're on his hall pass.
I do. I love it. Thank you so much, everybody. And it was a lot of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first 16 seed to
all.
defeat a 1, Leenie in North Carolina.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Oh, what a moment in show history. Whether you love Beast or don't like Beast, you watched. Unbelievable. What a show. What a time to be alive. Hey, come to our draft party, April 23rd, RSVP. If you haven't, hit the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the chat. A lot of people reacting in the chat right now. Veteran Jet fan says this is the worst screw job since Bret Hart in Montreal. Great take. Veteran Jet fan, that's a funny reference. Jay says, Beast, good fight. The committee effed you. A lot of people blaming the committee here, saying Leenie shouldn't have been a 16. But Leenie was in the play-in. She had to win a round just to get here. Spencer Green defending Beastbreaker says, oh, Beast said something mean over a YouTube chat. Amazing. What a tournament. Common Country says, Beast calls in every day. He deserves better from this community. Thunderlip says, yeah, my bracket is jacked up now. I'm going to enter the results. We'll see how many perfect brackets are left in our bracket pool. One last super chat before we wrap. Amanda Madison writes in, now that's what we call a Leenie and NC one punch. Look out for the 4%ers, baby. A valiant effort by the Beast. The Asmaniac community loves you both. Well said by Amanda Madison. All right, that does it for this show. You're going to want to be here this afternoon because Thunderlips and Pork of the Morning are going to put on an absolute show. I already got a video from Thunderlips that will have you in tears of laughter. So I can't wait for that. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. If you're new here, welcome. This is a Jet show you won't find anywhere else. That is a fact. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Stay awake this afternoon. We're back. We got Matt O'Leary joining us at 4. We'll talk to you then. Go Jets.
So Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 prospects as Aaron Glenn looks on for the Jets.
Christ, superpowers sleeping. Aaron, wake up!
Fernando Mendoza 1. Jeremiah Love, who we'll also see on Saturday here on NFL Network.
What does everybody... Are you tired of grilling outdoors? Are you tired of having to go to the kitchen to cook? Thanks to Beast's ultimate taste tool, my troubles are over. Sure, it's a little smoky, but who cares? Look, I even got a bucket to shit in so I never have to leave my room. Now you're cooking with butt.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets!